Oh my goodness.
We're live. Check this out. Hey guys, what do you think? I have to get it all in on one day because I'm only here today. So,
Oh my God.
I know, isn't it the best? Okay. Now that we're on and nobody's here.
And nobody's here. But that's okay.
That's okay. We're here. And the nose may go pretty quick, guys.
It has to. These
Because
are
it's
made for
for
3-year-olds. My head is a little bit too big for that.
Just, I mean, seriously, you're looking. Yeah, she's
keeping my eyes open. If I move it down a little bit,
maybe I don't know. See, like lower, maybe down here.
No, I was just plugging up my nose. I'm just plugging up my nose. Okay, I can't.
All right, I can't either. I have to. Okay, we'll redraft.
How about if I just leave it up there?
Oh, that works. If that's comfortable, that looks really good.
Now I look kind of like a coal miner that
got lost in the North Pole.
Yeah.
What were you mining for up there? Reindeer turds.
Oh my God, reindeer turds.
Black gold, Texas tea. I don't know what it's called.
Oh.
Ta-da!
See the shenanigans start up again as soon as she's back here on solid ground.
That's it. That happens. Ta-da! Da-da-da-da!
Oh my God, her in her little elf hat with her reindeer ear. Oh my God. All right.
She just can't.
I can't.
She missed it. She really did. I mean, Jamie told me that she was like sobbing because she couldn't play with all this shit. So anyway,
even though it was all in my room,
it was in her room. She could have played with it anytime.
I could have played with it, but
anytime
my water got in the way in there.
Yeah, she's working from home these days.
So now my knitting room is turned into a water laboratory.
It is, really is. There's boxes everywhere.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I was like so surprised. I'm thinking, what the hell did she order?
You have to be careful walking in there because there is water boxes like right at the door.
Yeah. There was. And I thought, what did she order? I was going to go look, but then I didn't. Then I realized what it was.
Yeah.
Because you cleaned up the counter. She works here at the counter in the house.
Well, but okay, my counter is high.
Can't see.
Sort of.
Right there.
It's like normal counter height, right?
Counter height, right.
So I have bar stools.
On the side.
They're not comfortable to sit in for 8 hours a day.
No. I mean, because you don't have a back and
there's no back. And
yeah.
So I was like, I can't. I did it for one day. I had my computer on one chair and then my laboratory at the next chair next to me.
Right.
So chair to chair to chair, because I would do the tests and then I would have to do computer shit. Mm-hmm. Then I would do the tests and then I would have to do some computer shit. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I literally can't. Like,
what if we got you really good tablecloth so it wouldn't hurt your table?
No, and I don't want it out here.
No,
I just.
Are you going to do it in there?
I'm going to do it in my yarn room. Yeah.
With your stitch markers and everything.
Well, my computer.
Next thing you know, if you send in a water test and it comes back with a stitch marker,
you know why?
You'll know why.
Because
she was doing it in her room. Yeah,
Well, I figured I've been super busy with Etsy anyway,
right?
So spending tons of time in that room.
Sure.
I might as well do my water test. Literally, I had so many water tests that I was like, okay. Anytime I have to get over the weekend, anytime I have to go into my yarn room, I have to do a water test too. That's like in my brain.
She hasn't been in there once today.
No, I haven't. I haven't been in there once today. No, I take that back. I was in there to take some stuff from here and there. Whatever.
So if you haven't figured out, this is Flock Around the Table. It's Sunday, December 4th. And believe it or not, I'm here. This is Deb.
It's not a figment really, of your imagination.
Honest, I'm really here. Look at my ears all bent. Oh well, I look like Shrek.
So she can't really listen very well.
So I can't. Welcome back. Thanks, Nancy. Thanks, Sandy. Thanks everybody. I really appreciate it, Lane. A good morning from Oklahoma. I like Oklahoma. Oklahoma. What is it? This is hurting my head. Sorry. And last night when I was getting ready to come, I thought, I better write down what number I'm on.
Oh,
'Cause I
because
did it.
she
I
hasn't
admit
been
it.
here forever.
Shut up. And so I wrote down the numbers and then I cleaned up my bag a little bit. Look what I found. This is from last year, my little pooper. And my pen in the bottom of my bag. Clean out your bags every once in a while, guys. You really get some fun stuff.
Yeah, you find the tchotchke shit that you got.
A year ago.
Didn't use from a year ago.
But the good thing about me being gone for the last 4 weeks, I don't have any tchotchke shit to bring to you.
But we had enough here.
Do you still have the present I gave you?
I do. I will show them.
Okay.
It's nearby. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now this trip was London for a few days, and then we sailed out of London and we went to La Corona, Spain, which is like France kind of cuts around and then Spain comes up and it's like over here. And then like we did a whoop to Vigo. And I mean, it was a little whoop to Vigo. I mean, I think the ship crawled. I think a rowboat took us.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not kidding. It was that quick. And then from there,
Jason Momoa was out there with his oars and rowing the ship. Okay.
Mash.
Yeah. Right.
So then we went to Portugal, to Madeira, which is an island that belongs to Portugal. Beautiful. Up the side of the mountain, it's all white. They grow banana. Every little plot has a banana tree or a plantain tree on it. Amazing. Beautiful green. It must be their growing season. I don't know. Maybe they grow those things all year round. Beautiful, beautiful place. I love that one. Yeah. And then from there, we went to Tenerife, which was in the Canary Islands. Loved that place too. But there were 3 cruise ships in that day. So we couldn't go on a hop on, hop off. So we only really went to this gorgeous city market.
Okay.
And it was a Saturday. So it was like the farmer's market type thing.
Is that where you got this gift?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to get it because she got me something there. Mm-hmm.
Fresh fruit, meat. They had a lot of artists there. And then downstairs, they had this really big grocery store that had like all the dry goods things that you would need. And everybody was there shopping. It was great. They had really good homemade empanadas.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's Mexican or Spanish or Portuguese or whatever, but they were so good. They had meat in the one, and they had this vegetable mixture, these root vegetables that it was to die for. I was like, God, I wish I could take half a dozen of these on the boat, but I knew I couldn't. So, and then we had 6 days at sea, just kind of floating along on the water and then we didn't see land until we got to the Bahamas. However, when we left, Tropical Storm Martin, which tried to become a hurricane, was on his way up to England. So we had some pretty rough seas. Plus, they put this ship in the water, and then all the crew got there like on October 16th. We sailed out on the 1st. So we truly were their test crews. They came over with just the crew. If we had gone across, I would have gotten off. But since we were going south, I said it was okay. However, when we got on, and they say the English Channel, when you leave England and the English Channel flows into the Atlantic, you get all this rocking anyway, because it's the difference of the flow and things. The ship was creaking constantly. And I mean constantly. It was terrible. I mean, scary,
that
terrible.
Would freak me out.
And then you're walking across, they have a lot of open walkways. So you walk across this glass kind of fancy walkway, and all of a sudden this thing goes here, it goes clunk, clunk, and I'm thinking, what the hell's going to hit me? Stayed away from that neighborhood. I even sent my husband a video of the sound in the one corner by our room. Well, he has a perfect explanation, because when we were in Mexico, when we had a bad ship, he went downstairs to work on the engine, of course. You know that, I told you that story. Well, this one, he said it's because they haven't had a chance to, all the expansion joints are new, and so they were expanding them. So later in the cruise, we had a question and answer section with some of the crew and the cruise director. So I said to the guy, I said, don't you guys know what stabilizer are? Because we were rocking to the point that you were really moving, and it wasn't that windy out, right?
Right.
He said, we did that on purpose so we could get the expansion joints all expanded. And I said, an announcement like that would have been okay, because then I would have, put bumper pads on my shoulders as I,
Gone back to the 80s and put your jacket on
exactly, with the pads.
with the big
Because
pads on
90% of this ship was 70 and older. I am not kidding you.
Right.
If there was one scooter, there was 2,000. And I mean, scooters.
And you weren't on one.
I was on one. I never really thought about that, but this ship was big. It was like almost 1,200 feet long. Big ship. 4,200 passengers. It was packed. And all week, the whole 2 weeks. And I'm sorry if anybody was on it, or if you know anybody who did the ship. I don't send letters. Don't do anything. All we got was complaints, because there were so many diamond and platinum and sweet people on here and then when you reach a certain level, you get priority things. Well, there wasn't a lot of that on the ship, because 90%, 95% was diamond, platinum, or got some sort of priority thing. And so constantly, crew was great. They were all experienced. We had a really, really good time, though. I mean, it was really fun. They did a typical cruise job and everything. And the problem is that, like, we went up to get a hamburger, and usually I love Guy Fieri's has a burger joint on most of the Carnival cruise ships. Well, these things that's all they cook is the burgers,
Right. Yeah.
and the fries and a hot dog maybe on another grill that kind of goes like this, So
Sandy's dying laughing to us, send letters.
Well, don't. So anyway, the grill was new, so it didn't have any extra flavor on it.
No flavor on the grill. They need to rotate those
from ship to ship to ship.
Or like one of his restaurants, or just go to the dump yard and find an old grill. Like, just find an old one, because those are the ones that are the best anyway.
Right, because you use your cast iron. They're all seasoned, so they're all great. So they get this thing, and so so that was the one thing. And I was so upset, because it was like, I told my sister, they're a great burger. You'll love them. Let's go get a burger. And she goes, I don't think this is very good.
It's not.
I said,
it's not. It's like Monk's Burger in the Dells.
Yeah.
Did we stop there?
No,
we didn't.
No.
Next time we go that trip,
we're going to go there.
We
came back too early.
There's 2 Monk's bars in the Dells, guys. If you ever get to Wisconsin Dells, you have to go to Monk's Bar and have a Monk's Burger. But you have to go to the one that is downtown. It's the old one.
Yes.
You can't go to the new Monk's Bar, which is over by Kalahari Resort.
Whatever. Yeah.
You have to go to the old school one. It's more like a biker bar.
Right.
And like the bartender is grilling your food. The grill is behind the bar. It's been there for a million years. But their burgers are like to freaking die for. And you don't get a plate, plastic basket.
No, you just get it wrapped.
No, it's not even wrapped. It's just on a piece of parchment. They just plop it on a piece of parchment and plop the parchment in front of you. Burgers just right there.
Really?
Same thing with your onion rings or cheese curds or anything. It's just on a piece of paper and put in front of you. That's the way you get it out.
Yeah, Fat Fans in Indy at Caro do that too. They put my nose is running. It's colder than shit here, I'm telling you. It was so nice yesterday. It's a little
Yay,
nippy.
Wisconsin, right?
Right, yeah. See?
Yeah, Wisconsin Dells, eh?
And actually, University of Wisconsin in Madison is one of Madison's, my niece, choice for graduate school. And I knew there was someplace up there that you had said we should go to.
Monk's.
And we were early that day, and we didn't get a chance to go when we drove back from Minnesota that time. So other than that, it was fine. I mean, we had a good time. The thing is that you got to my sister was just bitching about the bacon the entire time.
The bacon?
She loves bacon.
Right?
Well,
who doesn't like? Well, okay. There's two people in the world that don't like bacon.
Right.
But, we're gonna.
And Canadian bacon is ground more like ham.
It is ham.
In England, it's very similar to Canadian bacon. It's a cross between Canadian bacon and U.S. bacon. Okay, it's a little meatier. I think, I don't know, maybe they spice the pork belly or something. Smoked? Don't ask me. I don't know, a smoky flavor from something else. But they tried to make it, they grill it up and they tried to make it look like regular bacon.
it's not.
But it wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay. So later in the cruise,
It's not big in what we're used to.
Yeah, I think enough people had said
Sandy
something
says
to
it's
him.
not smoked. So it's like Canadian bacon.
Got it. Thanks.
Just cured, not smoked.
Just cured.
Yeah.
So, and my sister just kept bitching. I said, you got to remember, they bought most of this stuff in Europe. And a lot of this was bought in London, you know, when they put all the stuff on.
Of course. Yeah.
So we were eating English stuff all the way. I mean, in the Portuguese all the way across. They didn't pick up anything until they got to Miami. I don't think they flew stuff over. I mean, they might have, but
why would you do that?
Yeah, I mean, they ran out. In Portugal, they ran out of Pepsi.
So you got Portuguese Pepsi, which is real sugar.
Pepsi.
PepsiCo,
yeah, and they have these cool cans, the skinny cans. Okay, they're tall and skinny. They look really cool. Anyway, and then they bought Pepsi Max, okay, which is no sugar, but it has like whatever.
All the caffeine.
Oh my God. Everybody, you could tell some old lady who had had a Pepsi Max. There went her thing. There she went.
She's going on hers.
Oh my God, in her scooter.
Took the governor out of this.
I'm telling you.
God, too funny.
There was one lady, she cracked me up every morning on the track. I am not kidding you. Every morning we were out there. She was out there. And I guess somebody.
Well, you got to work your scooter out.
I guess so. She was out there.
Well, she's getting her money's worth out of it.
Well, actually, she was, when she was driving it, she was kicking her legs out.
Okay,
so she was kind of doing her exercise, but it was the most funniest thing ever.
Her exercise.
And I was like, if the one day, 2 days I went out up there to get her a video of it, because I thought it was hysterical. And she wasn't up there that morning, or she came early or whatever. So I missed her. But she was just, and she was about like this big, you know, this little big.
Yeah.
You know, and the scooter was twice the size. It must have been at somebody's in the family's meant for somebody who was like 500 pounds more than she was. And so she's like on this scooter and she's about like this big. I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen.
Okay, well, all right. So we all know that my brain works like a 12-year-old boy. Then it's just, you know, I laugh at fart jokes.
Of course.
I love swear words.
Yes.
So I think I've rubbed off on her just a little bit.
Just a tad.
Just a smidge.
Right.
Because she loves her tchotchke shit, which we understand this.
Which we all know.
So it was at the farmer's market in
Tenerife, which is the capital of Canary Islands,
which is where she found this, and she passed it up at first.
I did.
She passed it up because she wasn't sure. She might find it someplace else. Yeah. Might be better.
Right.
And it was one of the first places that she went to.
Right when we walked in, it was right
there.
And I in my head, it was like, these guys have to have this.
It has to come home with me. I will buy another suitcase if I have to.
Exactly. That was my thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not just me.
No, they're coming for our gang. You're gonna get them. So if you see it, a few gang members.
There's a few gang members that are getting this.
Yeah. This is my gang.
Are you kidding me? Do you guys see this?
I mean,
erotic penis peppers.
I'd never seen anything like that. And we walked the whole market and it says souvenir on it. Here, see? It says souvenir. And I had to bring them something back. I couldn't bring the crown jewels. You know, they wouldn't let them go. When we were at Kensington Palace, they said, no, you can't have them. So I was like, okay, what do I get? Well, when we were
that's as close to the jewels as you're going to get.
Especially
you could bring back the penis, but not the jewels.
So there you go. All prepackaged. Look, and it's approved for airline travel.
Yeah, because it's just the seeds.
Right.
To grow your own penises.
Yeah. So now
it's going to go right along with my orgasm. Maybe I'll get my orgasm done before the penis grows.
So next year, Sue's going to save the seeds. So
of course I am.
We're going to put that. They'll be on the Etsy
I have
shop.
to save this. I have to save this packaging too, because I'll need to repackage the seeds with that particular imagery
Well,
on it.
next October we stop in Tenerife again as well on that cruise. So I'll be able to get some more.
Oh my God.
that
Seriously,
out.
like I
did a double take. We walked into this market. It was beautiful. We walked over and we weren't sure. We went through the library, which is an amazing library in there. A lot of sculptures. They do a lot of art over there in Tenerife. It's beautiful. And so we walked through this massive library and sculpture garden and things. And we come up on the market and I went, oh, look, there it is. Cool. And when we walked in, there were all these beautiful flowers. I mean, think flowers you would love, you know, because you're a gardener. And my sister went nuts. And then I turned and looked and I went, huh? First thing I saw was pepper, but I thought that thing looks like, and it is a penis pepper. So my husband just, yeah. He says I've been hanging out with Sue too long.
Because I do have a 12-year-old boy's brain.
Well, that's okay. 12-year-olds like their penises too.
Yes, they do.
12-year-old girls don't care for their vaginas much.
It doesn't matter. Like,
so there you go.
Oh my God.
So now I have to figure out something to top it on my next trip. So how am I going to top it?
I don't know. You know, I didn't think you could top the pink bear slippers with the teal toenails.
That trip was, you were the only person on that trip I brought something back.
I know.
I didn't bring
so
anything back for
privileged.
the rest of the guys, but when I saw those pink slippers, I had no choice. I had to get them.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing with these. And so I thought, well, I'll only buy a couple. And so we were walking back to the ship thinking, oh my God, what if the ship doesn't let us put it on? I mean, granted, the airlines, because I can put it in my suitcase, who's going to know, right? They're not going to see anything. But I thought maybe the cruise ship might say something about it. Well, we got to the ship and you have to put yourself through scanners. They just check to make sure you're not snuggling in alcohol. You pick that up afterwards. You're not allowed. You can buy it, but you have to, they hang on to it until the day, like the night before you leave. And so there was a commotion behind me. So he ran it through and he looked up and I just grabbed the bag and ran. I didn't want anybody to get the penis peppers. So and then I had it sitting out in the room so our state attendant could see it.
Yeah, right. Oh my God. You are something else.
Because he actually asked us how long we'd been married.
Oh, you and your sister?
And I said, it seems like a long time. I says, but it's been all my life because she's really my sister. And he goes, oh, he was so embarrassed. And he turned, he was from, I think he's from Malaysia. But anyway, had a darker skin. You could tell he was beet red. I mean, this was a brown red. I mean, he was so embarrassed.
He was embarrassed.
And I said, I know why you got that because she's always telling me what to do. And we were arguing.
You're doing it.
And I'm doing it. And she's out drinking. And I'm here taking care of things. And I made her bed. He came in one day and I was making her bed. And so he was like, so anyway, it's understandable. A lot of people think that. And I can understand that,
And you look.
We look alike, but not.
Same age-ish.
Yeah, she's 3 years younger than I am. And whenever we do anything and she buys anything, it's here, carry this.
You're right.
I mean, and it goes in my backpack or my tote bag or anything.
Right.
But I'm the one saying, hey, hold up, you're walking too fast or something. So, and I have the wedding ring on. So I think that's kind of what gets people off on that. And I don't know how many sisters travel together, but we travel a lot.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. So,
you do.
And we're going again. Grand Cayman. I don't know. I thought maybe I'd bring back drug lords or something like that for everybody. Or just buy some drug in Cartagena.
The narco, heads of the narco
family
down
or
there,
something like
they
that.
would go, no, I'm not going with them. No. No.
I've heard about her. I'm long ago when I watched Flockaroundthetable. I'm not take away with her. Can I have some of your product then just to take back? No, okay. Panama, Costa Rica, and Cozumel. So I'll find something from somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I need to upgrade your, which really isn't bad, but I always usually kind of bring you a t-shirt because she didn't travel much, but now she travels with me because I get her.
She brought me a t-shirt.
I did.
And some mints.
And some mint. I don't know what else to. And it's a couple of tea towels.
Tea towels.
Because Karen likes tea towels. So I thought of her. And at first I bought them thinking, oh, I'll make them a bag. Yeah, well, that didn't get going. So anyway, but.
And you're not even here for very long, and you're off again.
This week. This is it.
You're here this week.
I'll be back in January for sure. And I only have one trip planned between January and April. And that's to Disney. So I'm going to take my husband to Disney for a week to decide if I want to stick with Disney. No letters, no bad emails, no bad comments or anything else like that. I just don't like the way Disney's going. And the reservations is what kills me more than anything. Because I'm not the type of person, when I get down there, I mean, I may go to Magic Kingdom 3 days in a row because it was the first bus.
Right.
And then I go over to Epcot, from there. I go to Hollywood Studios from there. I mean, I just bounce around, right? And now you can't do that. And so that's kind of pissing me off to no end because I'm an old lady and I don't, my mind wanders. So I wander. You never know where I'm going to end up. I think if you're over 65, they should let you do whatever you want. But again, that's half of Disney. Never mind. Can't do that.
Well, Disney and the state of Florida are now in the big mucky muck battle.
They are.
Yeah. So that it could be interesting to see how that plays out. I don't know what's going to go.
That's interesting. Well, the other thing is my husband came up with this. He said, they have X number, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years to figure this all out, to go from one status to like being part of the state or something like that. Now they pay and maintain our own stuff. I said, well, DeSantis will probably resign and run for president, so they can figure out and get a new one down there. So
you just need to find a completely new, like, theme parky type place to go to
kind of
hang out and like,
do my thing.
Do your thing. Maybe like Knoxville. Not Knoxville. What's Dolly Parton?
Oh, Dolly Parton. But you can't go in the winter.
Well, you're cruising a lot in the winter.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe I'll just cruise from November to March, and then I can hang out at
Dolly Parton Land.
I've never been there. We'll have to go.
Yeah, we should.
We'll do a weekend, and then we can do the show from there.
We should go. By the way, I want to bring up because it has. I want to ask your opinion and probably your guys' opinion. We've been doing this live for a while, but my computer and or my internet connection is not.
It's sucky.
It's not the greatest, evidently, for this sort of thing. So I'm curious, would you guys out there in the world prefer us to go back to
taping
and putting it up? Or do you like having the patchy short of internet and being able to communicate with us?
Yeah.
Just the question, because my internet is not going to change, and I have, 5G.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, we have everything here. It's just either the computer or it's just
but I think I'm Wi-Fi, so this is part of the problem. I think the reason why it goes wonky is because I'm Wi-Fi, and so when it's really bad weather outside, my Wi-Fi doesn't work as great.
Yeah.
I'm getting lives.
I am fine with taping. I love the live.
Okay,
guys.
Well, we got the live. So you can just deal with it being patchy every once in a while.
That's okay.
I'm all right with that. I was going to ask you, but you know what? I don't need your fucking opinion.
Fine, give me that penis back. The only problem I thought with that is if it grows and it's
what if it gets too big?
What if it gets too little?
What if it doesn't grow? What if it's soft?
What if it's not hot? I don't know anything about them. My sister did do some research on it, but I didn't ask her the other day. She was telling me,
like, God, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what the hell? This is probably like CGI'd, and like it's just a regular pepper.
Yeah, it's probably, I would imagine so. I don't think it's anything,
I mean, how can you possibly get a natural thing to grow in the shape of a circumcised penis?
I don't know. I just, peppers as a rule kind of have a penis look to them. some
Phallic. They have a phallic.
Okay, yeah, let's go
sort
phallic.
of.
Let's make the fancy word out of it.
Yeah.
So my husband says I'm obsessed with that word.
Phallic.
Yeah. Because every time I hear anybody's going to Iceland, I make sure I tell them to
Go to the phallic museum. Well, absolutely. What the hell? Of course you need to go to the phallic museum.
Yeah, I know.
Of course.
So anyway.
Oh my gosh. So
But I did get some knitting done.
I was just going to say, did you get any? Can we talk about knitting a little
bit on the podcast? Okay, back in when I went on the cruise with Mikey to Alaska, I finished my Notorious Amy, which is the Patrick beanie, and I finally got the nice little
big pom pom on.
Right.
Okay.
And then I had started mitten, and I didn't like the pattern, so I undid the mitten pattern, and I redid it on the cruise ship.
Okay.
On this time, and there you have Patrick beanie. And I'm going to send it to the person who made the Patrick beanie. Look, you have a mitten and a hat that matches.
Matching mitten and hat. Nice.
Now, this is the second one. Can you tell? Look at the top. Look at the thumb.
Yeah.
See? Okay. This is the first one. There's the thumb.
It's a tit thumb.
Yeah, it's a tit thumb. And the top too, kind of goes a little.
It's a little nipply.
There you go.
It's a nipply.
Yeah, and I was like, I should probably take it out. And I thought, nah, I'm not gonna. I don't even know what happened. It doesn't even look like the same size needles.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
So anyway, I did write the pattern out, so I will go ahead and type it up, and then I'll let you know next month. So if you wanted to do it, the Patrick beanie is a free download on Ravelry. And
you did an adaptation for the mittens.
For the mittens.
Yeah.
I just took a regular one, my limp thumb mitten, but this one I put a thumb in. I just kind of found one, and I did a gusset on this one just because I thought, well, let's just, mainly because of this, and I could have done it because you would have never known, but it kind of keeps the same pattern, here.
Yeah.
So that's what I was worried about up here. Yeah. So anyway, I was very pleased with it, but this is a much better. This is a pretty.
That's a lot prettier.
That's the second one. It took me like a quarter of the time. I think I did this one in about a day, a little over a day.
Yeah.
And the other reason I went and redid it is because the hat has a knit one, purl one, knit one through the back loop, which is my favorite ribbing. And so the hat had that, so I wanted the mittens to have that. The increased row is stockinette, but you never know because it's way down here.
Right.
So you would never know. So I got those done, and everybody was so impressed. Do you have a picture? And I said, no, I'm making it up as I go. And man, that was like crazy. People were like,
yeah, because you said that when we were eating our brisket slider.
Thanks, John.
Brisket and egg sliders this morning.
It was so good. That brisket was amazing.
Yeah, thanks, John.
Thanks, John. Colleen's husband made that.
Brisket.
Shared it.
So she was, now I can't even remember what I was going to say.
Oh, because I was saying it's so good. And then I said, I don't know what we were going to say.
We're both bad.
What were we talking about before that?
I don't even know.
Somebody remind us what we were talking about before that. We were talking about my mittens.
Yeah.
Oh, the knitting group.
Oh, yeah, the knitting group. So
there was a nice knitting. Then there was a knitting group on sea days.
On the cruise.
The cruise. On sea days, they had a group, and they usually met in this one area in the morning, like the first couple of days. And so I went one day. Not my cup of tea, let me tell you. I'm telling you.
They were negative ninnies.
They were picking on a musselburgh. Can you believe they picked on a musselburgh?
Why would you do that? That just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. You could make two hats for one if you just put the ends on it. I mean, it'd be the same thing. And I'm thinking,
but
it's sock yarn, so you want it to be warm. It's warmer, and it's called a musselburgh, and you just go round and round and round and do nothing. This way, it's great. What do you call it? Popcorn knitting?
Popcorn knitting.
And TV knitting, or whatever you want to call
it. Idiot knitting. You movie theater knitting, whatever.
In fact, I didn't do it one night when we watched a movie. That was fun.
Yeah, it's always fun the next day to pick up all those stitches you dropped too.
I was sitting kind of with a good, decent light, and I was working on this one.
This is why you do the muscle perks,
It's
because
perfect.
everybody freaking wears them.
They're amazing. They're a Watchman's type cap, but you didn't have to do knit 2, purl 2, or 1 and 1, or 3, or like this one, 5 and 2, 5 and 3, or whatever.
That's too much counting
and things. So this is just, you just figure out the increase, figure out your size, get your gauge, and away you go.
And
right?
you don't even have to do any of that until you start knitting.
Right. And then once I got to here, because this is where I was when I started it on the ship. See, I got this. This is where I was, just at the increase. Okay. And then I did to here on the ship in the plane. And then I did this in Michigan when I went up for a wedding lately. So, but I did this because I have a littler head. See, this is my original muscle bird. It's the first one I ever did. And I did it with bamboo pop.
I told her it's fine if you fold it over.
And I did it exactly like they said with the length.
They give you different lengths that you can do it with. I
know, but I was doing it kind of like for my size. It was an adult medium. And so I went a little too far. Okay.
Yes, you went a lot too far.
So this one I took off.
But not too far if you fold it over. Now this one, I couldn't. I just used the skein of yarn, and I like to fold mine over, but this one I can't. It's just too small.
But this one you could.
That one I could.
Yeah, this one you could. This one's a little bit bigger.
And I also like the fact that I can put it on with the clippy still in.
Sock has like 490 yards in it. See, oh yeah, you definitely.
I can barely get this one folded.
Yeah, but still, there you are. It's cute.
Why? Everybody that I've given this hat to, guys, loves them, and wears them
constantly.
Now, other hats that I've given, they're not always worn.
No, and this one is going to stay in the car. This is going to be my car hat, and my gift box mittens that I made before are going to be in my car. So that's it. So Notorious Amy, here you have it. Mittens and a hat.
Well,
and I even have almost 3/4 of a skein left.
Oh,
I bought 2, and this all 2K.
So you can make another pair of mittens.
Maybe I can make mittens to somebody else.
Yeah.
Somebody know.
So I can't finish anything. I just don't want to. I don't want to finish anything. Fuck it. I'm just not going to finish anything. So you finished that too.
I finished Minty Bricks.
Oh my God. I need to go on a cruise so I finish something.
See? I finished Minty Bricks. Look it up. It's free pattern on Ravelry. Looks really nice. It's really fun. It's really not that hard. It was time after you get up here, you do have to pay attention. The only row you have to pay attention is when you do the decrease.
The decrease.
Because then you switch from a purl
to a
knit type thing. So that's the only row you have to pay attention. Otherwise, you just follow it up and down. But so I finished that. What else I do? Oh, the blue. That's No Moon. Lolo did it. It's a Star Wars. Yeah. Lolo did it.
Yeah. Beautiful yarn.
Right. I had started one shawl, took it out. Started another shawl, took it out. Scarf. Started another shawl.
Is it fingering or DK?
No, it's fingering.
Okay.
And I'm on it's increasing, but it's not getting anywhere. It's just not, the length isn't there. It's like this long, like this long. And I'm technically almost done. Whoever knitted it and wrote this pattern, it's called Letters to Russia. And then I kind of got to thinking, this is a little politically incorrect at this time. But that's okay. That's the pattern I picked, right? So anyway, it comes to about here. Okay, so it's really short. And I'm on like the 4th round. So I thought, okay, I'm going to frog it and just do mittens. That's it. It's going to be mittens. Well, yesterday, I was cleaning up my yarn. And all the yarn downstairs is written down in boxes, fingering, DK, bulky, sport.
Did you do that?
Yeah, I did.
I really did it.
I did it. Just the stuff downstairs, not the stuff upstairs, and not the new stuff that's come in over the course of the year. But it's really amazing when you have it all together like that. So I found.
Well, that's what I
She's been saying
suggested that a while ago. Like, you
Did
know,
I pay attention?
you should put like yarns together, like fingering together. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I go through spurts, whereas I do a lot of DK. Some of the
Yeah,
like,
you'll go through spurts where you do
Right.
DK hats and mittens, and then you'll do a couple of shawls.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Right. And the other thing too is like Ash and Bumble, I have her year field notes.
Yeah.
And I got it in DK because I thought that would be cute mittens to get, you know, over the course
Right.
or a hat, something that you could do every other month. And yeah, well, that's kind of built up. So that's DK over there. And some of the new stuff is in. However, I still have my moratorium, guys. Believe it or not.
You didn't buy any yarn?
We didn't get down to loop.
Right.
Because they had raining. It was really rainy. And two, in the British world, in London, they do things very properly.
Right.
They announced they were going to strike on Saturday and shut things down. And they announced this like weeks before. So they could make alternate routes and things like that and get extra buses. Very, very proper. Very
proper.
I'm serious. These guys had it together. They never spoke bad about the union. They never spoke bad about the government. Everything on the news was like, well, I think we're going to go ahead and strike. And I think we should negotiate new terms. No, we don't feel that that's adequate enough. Well, I don't think we can afford to give you anything else. We have a very inflationary time. Well, we understand that. So we're willing to negotiate. And I'm serious. This is like unbelievable. I mean, if you watch the United Auto Workers, yeah, what the hell? I'm walking out. You know, there it was great. But anyway, they weren't sure they were going to be open on Saturday because of the strike.
Right.
Whether their people could get there. Now, they shut down the railroads, but the tunnel was okay. So I thought I could take the tunnel. Well, then I understand that the tunnel stops that connected to the roads where the trains went, they shut them down too. But they had buses to take you to the next stop. But I don't know the bus system to be able to get. I was afraid I was going to get stuck in London. And
right.
But the train strike only went from like 10 until 4. They wanted people to get to work. And then once you're at work, we'll shut the train down. But then you can get home.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I didn't get to loop. But I did have pretty decent internet on it. So Brenda and Heather, I got theirs. This is Brenda and Heather's Christmas. Light them up is what it says.
Okay.
Isn't it nice?
It looks.
It's kind of more of a blue-green.
It looks an awful lot like Carnival.
Yeah, it does, sort of. I don't know if you can see there's a stripey. Okay. Doesn't go very good. But anyway, this is Brenda and Heather Light them up.
Light them up.
Light them up. And then I figured since I was in Michigan on Black Friday, I did some yarn on that. But I was out of town, so I figured that
You were on vacation.
I was on vacation, so I figured I'm okay.
Yeah.
And actually, since I've been home, I've just been clicking through them and going, God, that's so cute. I don't know what I would do.
But you also went through your yarn. Okay, I have a confession.
Uh-oh.
I teased to some other yarny friends of ours that when you were gone on this long trip, that I was going to go to your house and organize all of your fucking yarn and tchotchke shits. Take half of it.
I would have never known.
You would have never known.
I'm not kidding.
And legit, I went about halfway through when you were gone. I was like, oh shit. And I'm scrolling through my phone thinking, for sure I got Mikey's number in here. For sure I do. I don't. I'm like, son of a bitch. So then I like texted out to the girlfriends. I'm like, does anybody got Mikey's number? Like,
no.
Oh, lo and behold, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. But
yeah,
I was so busy. I was so busy at work and then the Etsy shop that I didn't have time.
Well, you had more than enough. I mean,
I
first
didn't have
off,
time.
you normally, I mean, it would be better because you go into work, okay? But you're doing this from home, so you have to
that
rearrange
just started.
your world.
That just started.
Yeah, I know, but you just have to rearrange your world for that.
when
you know,
when-
and so.
when you were gone, I was at work.
Oh,
So
okay.
I mean,
All right.
yeah.
All right.
But you know, Thanksgiving happened. The Etsy shop was swamped. I showed her a picture of my one day.
Oh my
mailbox.
gosh, the mailbox, it was full.
It was overflowing.
Oh my God.
I know I used to put up pictures on Instagram of Happy Mail.
Sure. Yeah.
That I don't have enough space on my phone for that many photos. I'm just entirely thankful for all the orders that came through.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Entirely thankful for them all.
Yeah, that's super.
Yeah.
And I suppose you already talked about Michigan with them.
Yeah, we did.
See, I missed everything. I know.
Yeah.
I got to go back and watch them. I watched a few of them. I mean, I started watching the first one on the day we left.
Mm-hmm.
But this internet was very spotty.
Right.
And
then on the cruise, you
never know.
Yeah.
You don't get enough. It's actually satellite internet. It's not like regular internet. So it's a little bit different and a little screwier. But that's okay. I kind of thought, Sunday we were driving back and I was going to call in and I forgot. I don't know what we were doing, but I forgot. When we drove up to Michigan, we used to go up to Mackinac every year. And so my niece lives in Lansing.
Right. Yep.
And my great niece, Rachel, who I've talked about before, she actually got married 2 years ago, but they actually had the wedding, which would have been this Saturday, the 26th, would have been the wedding date they had picked, the weekend after Thanksgiving to get everybody to come. So long story short, we drove up and we hadn't been up there in years for Mackinac. So there's a Ponderosa that we used to stop with my mom because she liked their salad bar in Coldwater, Michigan. And it's still there. I was so excited.
Nice.
Yeah, wasn't I? A little indigestion afterwards, but it was still nice to be there.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you now,
you thought of your mom when you were there.
I did. And I'm telling you now, sorry, folks, Michigan's going to get my vitamin M business.
Yeah.
It's cheaper, less tax.
Yeah.
I have to drive a little further, but I don't care. I'll go up and see them.
Go see Leah.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, gonna sit in your house. Gonna bring all my mirror, my M in, and even a friend of ours that we know. I was their dealer this weekend. Now, if there's any cops watching, please don't come down on my case. I didn't buy enough to really kind of choke a horse. Okay. It's just for personal use, but I did get it for my friend. So just for whatever,
Hi, Carly. It's okay.
Hi,
Good
Carly.
morning.
You can be late. Yeah.
So
see, a lot of people like the live.
Yeah. Okay, so
so you
I couldn't resist. I
love how you did that.
I had to cast on. So for those of you not in the know, this is 2 mini gradient sets in pink and green. It is from Why Not Fibers.
Oh my God, that's such a cute name.
From Traverse City, Michigan.
Oh
Why
my
Not Fibers?
gosh.
In colorway Red Spire, and that one is Moss, I think.
Yeah.
Moss. I wound them up
5, 8,
together.
mini skates. How neat.
So that you guys don't really see it, but this is sparkly.
It's sparkly. It's very subtle. You can see it more on the green than you can on the pink.
But so I wound them up in the color color
fading, whatever
that I wanted.
Yeah.
And so now I can just knit. So it's from the lightest pink and then the darkest green, and then it'll gradient up.
Neat.
Doing the orgasm. It's my own pattern, so I'm adapting it a little bit. I'm just doing an eyelet row in between each color change.
Yeah.
The rest of it is just.
Now she's got her erotic penis pepper and her.
Yeah, orgasm. And my orgasm.
So she's happy,
So of course I had, as soon as I wound this up, I had to cast it on because.
Look at how cute that is. I never even thought to do that.
Because
then you don't have to carry all the skeins.
I don't have to carry all the skeins.
You know exactly where you're going to change.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to have enough, you just kind of buzz past it.
Yep.
And away you go. How cute is that?
And I joined them with that weird little
Where you split it?
Magic knot. No, not the Russian join.
Okay.
The little magic knot where you tie one side and then you tie the other side and you pull
And then
them
you pull together?
Yeah, that's how that's kind of how they do it.
Yeah. I have to do
the dyers do that.
Yeah, when I do that, I'm way over here, and then it's like this, and then.
But I also left the tails on, guys. I did not clip the tails off.
Smart move.
So I might just leave them on and weave them in because I don't trust that knot that well.
Just in case.
So I probably will weave them in just in case it does kind of slide off. Then I have something.
Then you have that. I think it holds pretty good.
I think it probably holds pretty good too.
Yeah, but you never know.
I'd rather be safe than sorry.
I agree. All right.
So I probably will
first.
I will probably weave them in a little bit before I clip.
Yeah, safety. I love the name.
Why Not Fibers?
Why Not? KNOT.
Totally great dyer. She was at the fiber event.
Fibers, Michigan line.
I am drawing a blank on the name of the gal.
That's all right.
That runs it, but she was absolutely hysterical. I have to tell Deb. So she had a little stuffed animal sheep. That was like the shop mascot or like the Why Not Fibers mascot. You should go on to her Instagram and stalk her a little bit. But so she sheared herself and carded her own fibers, made her own yarn, dyed her own yarn, and then knit herself a shawl out of her own yarn. The stuff. Sheep. And then crocheted herself a bikini so that she could go into the jacuzzi. I had to make her a shawl pin, a shawl cup to hold her shawl on. I think I have a photo of it. She's an alcoholic, so hers has a beer on it.
Oh no, how fun is that?
Yeah.
That's amazing. How cute.
Can't make the stuff up. I think I put it up on Instagram. Let's look on Instagram.
You are out on my community tab. Oh my gosh. Oh. You have to see this. Oh. You can't really tell. Look, he's got a beer on his thing. Squeeze it up or whatever you do to your iPad. So funny.
It's on our Instagram. You can go there and stalk that.
Oh my God, so cute.
And her name is Eunice.
Eunice. Okay.
The sheep. Yeah.
Okay.
But absolutely, she's a great indie dyer.
Nice.
And she was a blast to hang out with.
I'll have to go in there and
I ended up, she was wearing this cute little, the dyer lady herself.
Right. She wore the bikini?
No. Eunice wore the bikini.
I was going to say.
Eunice wanted to go swim in the hot tub. No, but the indie dyer herself, I can't think of her name. She was wearing this cute little shrug kind of sweater, really short thing. But she didn't have a button or a shawl pin or anything. And so it kept kind of slipping over her.
Right.
And she's like, okay, so you made Eunice a shawl thing. Can you make one for me too? So I did.
With a grandma?
No, I think, what did I put on hers? I can't remember what I put on hers. I had her pick it out. Maybe it was
new item for Etsy. She's going to get those little chains like we used to wear on our glasses, you know? She's going to put them on there. We'll have to figure
It was actually, it was lobster clasps on either side and then something in between.
Nice.
And she was like, this is awesome. And she's like, how much do I owe you? And I'm like, nothing. Just the comic relief was enough. Totally worth it.
No.
My Instagram post.
Oh, that's sometimes enough for it to do that, you know. I had some lady that most of the people, like I said, I didn't hang with the knitters because I didn't see, you know, a couple of them were really nice. They saw me upstairs and the one lady joined me the one morning, but they weren't doing my thing. They were all.
Were they doing like super complicated knitting?
Yes. The one lady was doing lace and she wasn't paying any attention.
Oh.
And I was like over that because I have to like sit in a dark room and concentrate on my lace. And then there was another one that was just knitting a baby sweater or something. And she like made the sleeve like that. You know, I mean, it was one of those sort of things. And I don't even remember what some of the other ones were.
Her name is Kate.
Oh.
Okay, Kate.
Thanks.
Needed that.
What do we?
I mean,
look at this bunch of people we have to hang out with. They know exactly.
I knew Eunice because Eunice was the topic of conversation there.
Oh, like I'm sure the whole time.
Where did Eunice go?
It's like somebody has a sheep that's named Dorothy or something like that. And there's a kit on one of the websites, and I keep meaning to get it because I just think she's so cute. And then I think, well, you're going to get all my like Eunice, like. I'm not going to get my shit done. You think I'm going to make a sweater for Eunice over the fact of making a sweater for me? You know, but I probably could get Eunice's done in a weekend. So
you know I have Philly.
Well, yeah.
You know why Philly is named Philly.
Yeah.
You do.
Why is Philly? I don't know.
Well, because Sharon got me Philly in Australia.
Right.
Little keychain sheep.
Yeah, little one.
Because she wanted to get me something from Australia.
Okay.
It was made in the Philippines. So I named him Philly.
Now,
Tag right on it. It said made in the Philippines. You picked it up in Australia, though. But by gosh, I wanted to get you something
I had to get original. See, so
yeah.
So I had to do that. When we were in Alaska.
What I want to know is was the purveyor of said fruit stand a male?
Yes.
And was he good looking?
Yes.
No, see, then it's all worthwhile.
Think in Portugal or Spain, I saw anybody, even the old ones, were decent looking.
Yeah.
Okay. They maintained their butt. You know how old men just get that saggy butt, you know, and their pants just sort of hang. In Spain and Portugal, they still wear the skinny jeans, even at 87 and their cane. They still looked really good. I didn't see anybody.
No saggy butt.
No saggy
bottoms.
No not
saggy bottom
at all.
boys.
Speaking of saggy bottoms, I did get to watch a little bit of the Great British Baking. That was fun. I watched part of that.
That's soggy bottom, right?
That's a soggy bottom thing. Yeah. That was Mary Berry and Paul Hollywood's thing, soggy bottom. They kind of got that out there. So anyway, but yes, they are. I would definitely, if I were ever to consider mingling with the other counterpart, that's where I probably head to Portugal. And it would definitely be a cougar status. Trust me, I would go 19 or nowhere, you know. I mean, they and
have you cougar you.
No. And they're so pleasant. They hold the doors. I tripped one day and I thought 15 guys came over to help me up off the curb.
That would not happen here in the U.S.
No, not at all. They gave you your seat on the bus. I mean, seriously, they were just beyond friendly and helpful and everything. You know, one guy carried my extra bag at the airport. I was like, unbelievable. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Why don't we
not here in the U.S.
Not here in the U.S. anymore.
No.
We've got too much space issues. Anyway, we won't get into that. I like banana cream pie. So we won't get there.
You like pie?
I love pie.
Yeah.
I do. I love banana cream. That's my favorite.
I don't do pie.
You don't do pie?
I know. I don't like pie.
How could people not like pie? What about Boston cream pie?
Well, see, my thing is that
that's really a cake.
Yeah, Boston cream pie is a cake. So, okay, here's my issue.
Let's have her oratory on her issue here. Take it away.
People fuck up pie crust.
That's true. Okay, I can see that. Yep.
And it's like 95% of pie crusts are just nasty.
Sucko.
It's true. Suck.
They do.
And so therefore, I'm just going to pass on pie. I'm just going to pass on pie because unfortunately, the art of pie crust making in this country, in our country, has just gone down the tube.
Well, yeah. I have to admit, you're right.
I will take anything. I'll take a pie if it's made in a graham cracker crust.
Yeah, like a
cheesecake or
right. Or anything else that they put in.
Pumpkin pie made
like
it. Anything.
Cream pies or things like that they put in.
If it's made in a graham cracker crust, I'm fine with. Otherwise, I'll just have a bowl of whipped cream with some chocolate sauce on top of it or something. Maybe some berries.
Yeah,
fast. Can you just scoop out the apples out of your bad pie crust? Put it in a dish and put a little scoop of ice cream on there. I am totally good with that. But
I can see that. Yeah. Now, do you like if you eat a good apple pie, do you prefer the crumble or do you prefer a crust? If it's a good crust, which do you prefer? Like on the top? Are you a crumble? Oh, me too. I'm totally a crumble.
Crumble, Dutch apple.
Yeah, Dutch apple.
Dutch apple all the way.
All the way.
Yeah. Well, and to be honest, I would rather just have
just like a cobbler without the crust.
Without the crust. Just give me a cobbler.
Just give you a cobbler.
And I'll put
Yeah, I can see that too. I
apple
like the
crisp.
crusty.
I'll do an apple crisp.
Yeah, type thing.
For sure. Yeah. All day long.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They used to love puff crust here in the ship.
Karen, you finished your zigzag, you little finisher, you
little snot bag. You bring it on Tuesday. I want to see
take a photo of it at least.
Put it, or whatever.
Because that one was stunning. It's that one that's bright orange.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's so cool. Well, she'll be here because I won't.
Karen, will you be here next weekend?
Yes, Karen, Colleen, Carly, my backups, please. I'll bring you a drug lord.
How about Notorious Amy? She needs to get her ass down here once.
Yeah, she really does. We talk about her enough. You guys should get to know her. Seriously, right? Really, you should. No,
Carly, yes.
Karen, all right,
sure.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, we got me covered.
At least somebody can show some finished shit because it's not going to be me.
Well, and probably not me either because this cruise, we've got an excursion everywhere.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. So we're doing like the Turtles and Grand Cayman.
And you and your sister?
And we're in Cartagena 2 days.
And I said, oh, sure, you're going without me again. And she goes, I think I could take you. And my husband went, you could probably go if you want to. And I'm like, I got another cruise I got to pay for crying out loud.
Yes, and if anybody hasn't booked it and you still want to think about it, go back on because they are running a Black Friday special and it's still running as far as I know to today.
Oh, okay.
So
for Alaska.
Yeah, for Alaska,
in August
18th. Yes.
Out of Seattle.
Yes, on Celebrity. So we're going to be on there. We're going to have a really good time. And we are. I don't know. Yeah. You may not.
No, they will.
You will. And if you want to bring your significant other, that's fine. You know what we should do?
We should have a stowaway.
No. Bring your if this is one way you get to go, bring your significant other and we'll stuff them in another corner.
Yeah.
I'll bring Mikey. He can be in his own cabin in the inside because, but I'll bring Mikey and then he can kind of clump them all together.
Is your sister coming?
Yeah.
Is she? Okay, good.
Of course she is. God forbid. Yeah, that was the only thing. My sister has this thing. She's a wonderful person. She really is. She's very giving. Some people actually see the word sucker. I can't see it taped on her forehead. It's imprinted. I'm a sucker.
Yeah.
So sometimes she gets herself in trouble, but she drank a little bit too much in this cruise.
Oops.
Gambled a little too much. The last night she was downstairs and she didn't eat. She didn't like what they had for dinner. So she's downstairs drinking. She comes up and she's so drunk.
Oops.
She tripped and fell in her head, right? Doesn't remember this. And then we have to put our luggage out so they could take it because you put it out and they take it. You pick it up in the morning, your big bags. So you don't have to drag it all the way out and in and everything. Well, she tripped over the door. I never have the stupid people putting a door, tripping everybody. I can't embed. And then she locked herself out. The whole ship knew she put out her luggage that night. So it was really kind of, and I'm sitting in there hysterical, right? Just hysterical. And you never know. Am I supposed to say, do you need some help? And that will only set her off more. Or you just sit there and then she goes, you can't get up and help me? I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if
If
I
we don't,
don't, you know? So that's her situation. Few issues with the room. The beds were kind of too close and they didn't have a table. Certain things we wrote Carnival about that and said, hey, this is a brand new ship. It should have been like on it. You know, you've had enough out there that this thing should have everything under the sun to make it good.
Right.
That people have been cruising.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's that. So be sure you take a chance and come with us if you can. I will be back January. Now, Christmas is on the 25th. It's a Sunday.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. So we probably won't be here on Christmas. Are you going away for New Year's? Not that you know of.
I'm going away for Christmas.
But you should be back by New Year's.
But yeah.
So we may be here New Year's Day because I'll be here New Year's Day. So maybe we'll bring in the New Year together with everybody.
Yeah.
Because that's a Sunday as well. But I'm gone. I'm not back. I leave on Sunday the 11th. I tried to get a late flight so I could do it. And then only miss a couple of Sundays. But the way they have them set up, I have to be at the airport. We leave at 1, so you have to be there like by 11. So I figured I wouldn't, you know, Mikey be pacing there going, we need to go. We're going to miss the plane. Going to get to the parking lot.
Right.
Oh, he just drives me crazy. Anyway.
So you're going to miss a couple of weeks.
I'll be missing a couple of weeks in Christmas. So I want to wish everybody.
We're gonna miss you guys on Christmas. We're not going to be here on Christmas Day.
No. But next week and the week after, she'll pick it up with our buddies.
With whoever.
We'll grab somebody from the street saying, hey,
yeah, I'm just going to go down there and, you know.
Maybe a duck.
A duck?
That would.
I got a couple out back here.
Yeah,
I can bring a couple ducks in.
Maybe where did our spider go? Maybe.
He's in some
corner somewhere.
He's probably in my pillowcase. I'm sure he's in my pillowcase. He was never captured.
I got one.
Never captured.
I got something stuck in my jacket and it bit me here. And I had this welt on vacation and I couldn't find him. I mean, I don't know if I smashed him into that, but there were no like parts.
There was
in the jacket, in the shirt.
There was no legs or
nothing. So I mean, it could have been like and I don't think centipede bite, but they disintegrate when you step on them. They just disappear
into 1,000 legs.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, but from me to you, thank you for watching us for all this time. Episode number 122. You've been here for that. Can you believe that?
No.
Unbelievable. It'll be 2023. And we started this as hey, let's give it a shot. And here we are, still giving it a shot.
Yeah, still haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, we might get it together in the next year or so. You never know. So anyway, so Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll see you on New Year's Day, hopefully. And stay safe.
Yeah.
And go ahead and say Happy Holidays and Merry Christmas to people and wish them whatever you want.
Happy Kwanzaa, whatever.
Anything, because I'm one of those people that just does it. You know,
I do
and if it offends them, I say, oops, no way to know. And that's all I say. I don't even apologize. But if people, and I've actually had people say that to me the other day, we were in Meyer together. And I said, thanks. He got me something. And this woman who walked by, I said, thanks so much. I said, you have a good holiday season. I hope it's not too much. And she just looked at me. She glared and she goes, I don't think that's appropriate. Looked right at me. And I said, oh, I had no way of knowing it would bother you. And I didn't apologize. I just walked away. I went, oh,
I wouldn't apologize.
I just went, I didn't know it would bother you. And I just walked on. I thought, screw you, you know? I'll say, screw you here instead of screw you. Actually, I wanted to use the F word, but I didn't. I was in a good mood. I don't know. I probably would have turned to her and said, well, then fuck off. Oh, I almost got in an altercation with an old lady on the ship.
Deborah.
We were coming back we were in Madeira.
Was she being a Karen?
Yeah. A major Karen. Okay.
Not our Karen,
but a major Karen. Right. And these people, they were cutting in line. And this old lady, she was like a couple behind us. She goes, well, I'm just going to go around them. And I thought, oh, no, you're not. So the husband got by and I just kind of moved over into her world and put my hand on the wall like I was leaning.
Yeah.
And she moved my arm. And I said, hey, don't touch me. And she goes, why are you blocking me? And I said, well, there's no cutsies. just like that. And my sister goes, and she goes, well, you are not. And then everybody over there is like defending me and everything. And then she goes to take a swing at me. My sister goes, I wouldn't do that. And her husband kind of goes like this. He's like 50 feet ahead of her. And he kind of goes, come, dear. I have a feeling she's done that before. And the guy goes, here, let's get you on board. And I said, no, I'm not going to cut in front of all these people. You know, right. I said, but if you're going to send people up to the other gangway, then take them from here. We've all been waiting. Don't grab them as they come in. Right. You know, move these people along. Say, exactly. Hey, why don't you 50 go up here and we'll put 50 here? Yeah. You know, that's how it works. And he was like, you know, it was hot. It was sticky. Everybody's trying to get on board. The crews kind of get back on board. We weren't late or anything, but still, you want to get upstairs before the buffet closes because God forbid you miss a meal.
Well, you know, we're getting light as a feather here. We, you know, might blow away.
Yeah, I know. You know, I haven't eaten for like an hour and a half. So, you know, I mean, I got to get up there and see what they've got. Anyway, but yeah, she was like, she calls me a bitch. And I said, well, it takes one to know one. And the husband just kept walking away. He kind of knew. Yeah. And when I said that to Mikey, he said, well, he goes, what do you think I would do? I said, you would have stood there and just waited for it to happen. Then you would have, you know, like dragged me away. I said, when we were all bloody, you would have just, you know, torn your shirt to give me a bandage. So he didn't stop me either. But anyway, so I had to pass that on. So yes, I was mean and terrible. And the funny thing was I was in a really good mood that day.
Until that happened.
And I was just like, hey, you know, and it was kind of people pushing buttons too, and I just kind of went like, you know, like, no.
I did that to a guy in an airport once.
You did?
I did, only because, well, and I think I probably was being a smidge Karen myself.
Oh, okay. Just a smidge.
Just a smidge. So, you know, in a lot of airports, there's like 3 chairs that they put right by where you line up to get into the airplane.
Yes.
Okay. Now there's the handicapped ones that are right up close, but then there's two or three chairs that are still relatively close. Well, there was, in this particular instance, there was 3 chairs.
Okay.
Now I had my carry-on and my knit bag.
Right.
My two
carry-ons.
Carry-ons. And Jamie's bag. And so what we like to do is I put my knit bag in between us.
Yeah.
And we, you know, sit and I can knit and blah, 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 blah. And we can have like shared popcorn or whatnot in the chair in between us. And so.
And rarely does anybody sit in between you or even at the end. They always want a seat between, separating you.
So I had my knitting bag up there and Jamie had his bag and he went off to go get something to munch on or something.
Right.
And this guy comes up and he says, are these taken? And I said, yes, they are. And he goes, well, who's sitting there? And I said, my family. Right.
Well, my knitting.
And he's like, well, there's nobody here now. And I said, I understand that. But
yeah, they're taken.
Be back and they're taken. Well, they're not here now. And so he moves my stuff. Right. And sits in the yeah. So I started being kind of Karen-ish, but he was very Karen-ish.
Yeah.
And then
is there a word for a Karen for a guy?
Kevin.
Okay.
Kevin.
He was being a Kevin.
And so he, like, Jamie came back, and my husband is very even keel, like bow tie.
Why bother? Let's just move.
Yeah. Just gonna like let it be. But I'm doing this to him. I'm like pushing him. I'm leaning into him because, you know, I had to put my knitting bag here in my chair now. And I'm like this to him. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Am I bothering you?
Oh my God, I love it. I love it.
And my husband, and so I was being a complete Karen, but he fucking started it.
Oh my God, he did. He totally did.
He totally started it.
Yeah.
And it's not like the airport wasn't completely empty. It was empty. There was plenty of spots everywhere.
It was just he was being a dick.
Yeah,
he was being a Kevin.
Yeah, he was
actually a dick. I mean, we'll just
He was
stick it
being
in
a
there.
dick,
He's being
and
a
so
dick.
was I.
Well, yeah, but that's beside the point. You were there.
Yeah,
So you were protecting your turf.
I was.
I get that.
I mean, there was 2 chairs. Like,
Yeah.
So, technically there was 3 people in 3 chairs, but like at any rate,
Yeah.
And Jamie kept going, stop that. To me. I'm like, no, because damn it, that's where my yarn is supposed to fucking
That's fine
sit.
sitting. If it were packed, it'd be one thing. I have to make, because like in the morning when I go up to the buffet, I take a bigger table, right? To at least 4-seater, right? Either 4-seater or 2 smaller ones together. And I take it, and as it fills up, I'll move to a smaller table, or slide over to the one side, because I understand that it gets crowded and people want to eat breakfast and they want to eat together. So I slide over. Whereas this one lady, like the last day, she sat in the middle of 6 seats, and she had shit everywhere. Now, granted, it looked like she was saving it, but nobody came. She sat there for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And it was so crowded, and I thought, and I would have been like you, I would have probably gone and said, hey, can I sit there? And she'd say no. I'm saying, well, I'm going to sit here anyway. Usually,
when somebody else shows up, then I'll go ahead and leave.
Well, yeah, that's the sort of situation. But if it's not full, then I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's like the people who save the seats. They go up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and they put the towels on the beach chairs at the beach and stuff like that. And then you don't know whether or not somebody's sitting there or not, and nobody's there. And then you find a spot,
and they don't come until 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, and then you're searching, nobody there, But the minute you walk over there, they walk up.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, you've been here for 4.5 hours. Well, I had it marked. Well, guess what? I took it away.
Yeah, that's when I go with your ass left the seat.
So it's not yours anymore.
Not yours anymore. Sorry.
Well, I consider it like on Southwest. If we're, if they say we have an almost full flight, I'll be a pain in the ass, and I'll look and search in the middle, like I'm waiting for somebody. Never, I can't say that because you're going to see me on the plane, but that's beside what I'll give you my credit. Yeah, it's sort of things like, and you wave. Nobody knows if you're waving behind
somebody,
it,
yeah,
or if the people back there are thinking I'm waving before somebody. Nobody knows who you're waving at, so they just kind of go walking right by. And what I do is, if I know it's a full plane and Gail's at the window and we have the middle seat, I'll watch for somebody tall, and I'll say, hey, I said, do you want the aisle since you're tall? And then I'll move over to the middle for them. Yeah. Then they don't get mad when you get up and go to the bathroom 16 times.
Well, right.
So then, because you gave them an aisle seat, because at least if you're tall, you need an aisle seat.
Yeah.
And this kind of protects you from getting somebody who's going to do this all the time,
Like me.
No. And I hate those people who, if you get stuck in the middle, normally, like when I fly by myself, I don't care, but they take the armrests.
Both of them. And
you're like, wait, you've got the one here, I've got this one, and he's got that one. I actually explained that to somebody once. They just sort of looked at me like I was crazy. But he moved his arm. He didn't want to take a chance. But it really was crazy. So
I'm lucky. I'm usually traveling with Jamie.
Business class.
And he's well,
usually because he's so damn tall.
Yeah, but if we do have to go coach, which
is where
he's always on the aisle because he's 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, his legs just don't fit in.
No.
There. And so what I end up doing, I'm always in the middle seat, and so I'm like this because he's also built like a linebacker, and I'm not exactly small either. So,
right. So you do take.
So we're both in the armrest because I just do this on him.
And everybody thinks they're
so I can lean on him and be away from the other person.
She's just because they're a loving couple, that's how it is. That's oogie googie. No, what we do is I put Mike on one side and I sit on the other aisle.
Oh, the last time that happened with Jamie and I, where I was in the aisle and he was in the aisle right across from us, I get weirded out around if I have I'm not.
You're not a fire.
I'm not a great people person in in that sort of situation.
Who would have known?
And
You're a functional agoraphobe.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So I put in earbuds and an eye mask.
Right. And you just kind of
And I pretend like I'm sleeping. I pretend like I'm sleeping even though I'm not.
Alone. You might doze a little bit in there, though.
I've never been able to fall asleep in a sitting position.
I'm
Ever.
not either. I don't know how these people can do it. My husband can. He's like,
yeah, and so does Jamie.
And I can't do it. My sister's
I've never
the same
been able
way.
to.
Never, even if I practice.
No.
Only
I can't
time
do it.
I've done it is if I'm drugged, or after surgery or something like that. I mean, if you're tired or healing or something. But if it's intentional, no way. That's why we flew.
I can't.
We flew business to London because it was a night flight. And I had to, except I didn't sleep much. I was watching Top Gun Maverick. Good movie, really is. I mean, it's typical Top Gun, but it was done well. I have to admit, I did.
So when your business can flying across the pond, can
Usually
you actually lay
flat.
down all the way flat?
This one we went Aer Lingus, and you could go all the way flat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, all the way flat. You had your own little potty thing, little own pod, your TV, little neighborhood to stick your stuff in. And you went flat, and they gave you a coat and a pillow.
Mona says it's a special skill that she holds a master's degree in.
I thought maybe when I got older,
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't sleep in a car. I can't sleep in a
She
plane.
would sit in her chair, and
Yeah.
she'd get that positive O sign,
Yeah.
and she'd be out like a light for 2 or 3 hours, and
Yeah,
I can't do it.
I can't do it.
I mean, I have to really, really, even when I'm sitting up in my chair, I have to lean over, like this. If I'm really tired, I might fall asleep that way, or at night sometimes, but not
sitting
not
up.
even this way. Not even
No, I can't do it.
on the thing.
If I'm like this at all, even leaning up against the side of the airplane,
or anything.
Or no, I can't fall asleep. I just can't do it.
Well,
but I will sit there and pretend like I'm asleep for 3 hours just so that I don't have to talk to the person next to me.
You need to teach a class.
Yeah. I legit will put a face or a eye mask on and earplugs in and pretend like I'm asleep for 3 hours.
Right.
Just so I don't have to talk to the person next to me.
It's a little louder than my fan. You know what I mean? So I hear stuff, but I slept about an hour and a half, because based on where she was in the movie, she was watching it too. And based where she was on the movie, it was just about at the end. So I knew that I had slept for a little bit, or at least dozed off. I mean, I probably didn't get into my REM sleep. I'm going to be a dog. 2 minutes, they get into REM sleep. Can you believe that?
Right.
How great. And then they wake up like super happy. Whatever. Okay. Oh my God, I'm so sorry we've been on this forever.
We have been on for a hot minute.
That's because I had to catch up with everybody. So it works that way. Merry Christmas. Jingle bells.
Jingle bells. Yeah.
Reindeer, ring around.
And, get your flashing noses out.
Yes. And all of your festive stuff. And don't give a darn who is. Oh, you didn't see my nails. Look.
I'll hold them up. Up. There you go.
I have a Christmas tree.
You do. That is so cute.
Isn't that cute? Red sparkle with a Christmas tree. There you go. Just for you guys.
All right. Okay. I will see you guys next week.
She'll see you. I'll be at the airport. And the following Sunday, I have no idea where I'm at. I think I'm in Panama. But don't quote me on that. So anyway.
Probably the Panama Canal.
Yeah, we are going up the river.
Okay.
I mean, we're up the canal, but we don't go through it. So anyway. All right.
Not a touchscreen.
Damn it. I forgot. Bye, guys. They look like Shrek. Look at. Isn't that a Shrek ear?
Yeah, totally. Okay. Oh, my God.